Good morning. Good morning out there. Morning for me at least, but I know could be the afternoon for some. Hope you're all doing well. I'm back for another iRacing Lotus 49 race today. Like always, hoping it's going to be a good one, but it should be tricky this week, I think. Although, we could get iRacing to show, actually. There we go. Always likes to take a second. Well, Ari Leyendijk's a very famous racing driver in general. Put this up a little bit. So I can see why they have a corner named after him. Turn down some of this music. It's a little more psychedelic than I was planning today. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, we're at Zandvoort, and in case you didn't know, I put it in the description too, but in iRacing they only have, really, in general, modern versions of circuits. So it's the modern Zandvoort, and that means it's quite a tricky track in these cars. And I was debating not racing this week, but I had so much fun last week despite the really not great race. But I still had a lot of fun, and yeah, wanted to do this one again this week. Hopefully going to be a bit better, but I do feel like I'm a little further off the pace. However, I also feel like it's a little easier to make laps, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes today, and hopefully good though. Hopefully a good race, no matter where I end up finishing. All right, so we'll. I want to jump in. It's about 13 minutes or so until the official practice for this begins, so I do want to jump in. I haven't done any quali running this morning, so I do want to do a couple laps at a quali setting and see how things feel. Appreciate folks joining. Figure out all these mic stands and things. I gotta get a new mic stand, I think, for all of this. Oh, thanks, Vicente. I appreciate that. Thank you for the luck. I think I'll need some luck today. I'm not sure, or I'm not too worried about getting around the track, but it will definitely be closer quarters racing today than last week, depending on especially how many drivers we get. I guess right now, I'm not sure how many are registered, but quite a few. Now, so it's I did say it's the modern circuit, but it's before kind of the redone elements to it that they did for F1. So I guess it's like the 2010, 2011 version. Let me know how the audio is too. The car is very loud. But yeah, this part of the circuit, relatively unchanged throughout all of history. So it's a nice section, fast flowing. We come over the hill here, and this is a tricky part of the track in these cars. Just lose the rear end slightly there, just to get it to balance through all these corners. Come up over the hill, and this is where the circuit deviates from what you might know in Grand Prix Legends. We dive down. This corner is not too dissimilar, although I think it's tighter. And then we come into kind of a Mickey Mouse section of sorts. And the car off in front. Wide here, and this is just a test of patience. To the left, to the right. You can actually really use up the curbs in this car, which is kind of cool. We'll go straight for a second and then into a very slow chicane, which this might be a good passing zone, maybe. Definitely on the front stretch into Tarzan will be good, but around the old carousel style corner there. Back up the gears for a second, one last tight one. Second gear, want to use a lot of curb on the inside. Whoa. Rear steps out slightly. Back to the front straightaway. So it's a little tight in spots. Down the gearbox though. Hard braking for T1. Second gear is the lowest, at least I've been going. First gear, you can probably fiddle around with the gearbox to get it to behave a little bit better, but first gear is really just too short. Definitely a lot of torque in that gear too, so you tend to lock up the wheels and stuff. A little hot there. You want to be really close to the inside over the crest here, and then down to third gear. And I found hugging the white line to the inside to be what the quick guys are doing, at least. Down to second gear here. Missed that one. But yeah, this part of the circuit, it's a shame. I love the original Zandvoort a lot. It's one of my favorite tracks to go race in Assetto Corsa with Sergio Loro's version of it. It also exists for R Factor too. I think he has a few different versions, but 1960s really. Such a nice track, great flow. The slow section here is definitely not a nice addition. I would say it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also, compared to the original, just such a shame. But it was a pretty dangerous track. There were some very bad accidents here. It's very bad moments to be forgotten, so I'm not sure either if there were any kind of land issues. I know this track is right on the beach. Never been here in real life, unfortunately. But I'm not sure if they shortened it for any reason other than safety. Up to fourth gear there, kind of as quickly as you can. That's a little bit better that time than right over that curb on the inside. Down to third, over the top of the hill. Trying to get it to tuck in. This is actually a decent lap. But like I said, I think I'm a little further off the pace this week, unfortunately. I don't know why exactly. I'm trying to learn kind of the oddities of driving this car and what makes it go fast. It's definitely a test of patience, because sliding it's very slow. Feeling all right through this lap, at least. Can take a lot of curb on the right there. I would be pretty happy with this for a qualifying lap. Let's see if I can round it out here, final corner. Just 0.4 off my all-time optimal. It's going to be very near a 38. 139.1. That might be my best ever lap, so happy to do that on stream. Yeah, that's the thing, Luke. I feel fairly fast, but I'm about a second slower than the really quick drivers, and that's how online racing goes sometimes, right? You think you're quick, and then other people show up, and I don't know, something else happens. But yeah, appreciate folks joining. So we got about 5 minutes until the race session itself begins. But yeah, look, Jim did a 137.7 here. I don't know if I caught it. No, I didn't. I hadn't joined the session yet by that point. But unreal. Yeah, I am using an H pattern. So I talked about this a little bit last week. Driving wise in the Lotus 49, it's not unrealistic, but it's not the way you would drive the car in real life. There's the clutch, obviously, but in iRacing, you only need to use the clutch really to get off the line and when you come to a stop. So you can shift up and down just by lifting and blipping the throttle. And that's, pretty easy. So left foot braking in the car, no foot on the clutch at all. Yeah, it does make a nice sound. But no foot on the clutch at all or anything like that. So it makes driving it a bit easier, but you wouldn't do that in the real car because the gearbox would explode after 5 laps. Oh, Ascari, thank you for the membership. Just finished watching the IndyCar VOD from yesterday, and now I'm streaming fresh content. Yeah, but I'm still up in the air whether or not I'm going to do the second part of the IndyCar race later today. I'll see how I feel after this. I felt a little ill last night, actually, so hopefully everything goes well. Feeling all right now. But I appreciate that, Ascari. Thank you. Finished drinking my morning coffee as well. These races are right at the start of the day, which is actually kind of nice. Do it, get it out of the way. There's a few other races too. It seems like the series has picked up a little popularity, so I think an extra couple of races went live this week. We've got the tech tire chats this morning. Yeah, the tires in these, I'm not sure if iRacing's modeling a modern construction vintage tire. Who knows? But they are slidey. You do have quite a lot of low speed grip, you know, definitely compared to something like a GPL, which I don't think's terribly accurate there. I posted on my my Twitter this morning too. Thankfully, all of the Grand Prix Legends websites and everything are back up, so appreciate Bill and Stefan and folks over there getting that up and running again. But Sim Racing Mirror Zone is back as of this morning. You ever heard of a rear wing? It'd be kind of fun to have the winged versions of this car, but as soon as you start doing that, it becomes a very different car. So I appreciate that they went with the wingless, because that's a very special period in racing. It's a short period too. You know, now that I've really started exploring the 66 67 season, you realize how magical 66 67 and the beginning of 68 were. The return to power with the low slung cigar shaped cars and no wings. It was really only 2.25 years that the race cars were like that. As soon as wings came on, it's very different suddenly. So, I'm gonna park it here. You should be joining the race session in just a minute or so. Setup wise, so I have gone into setup making a little bit. Have to thank, of course, John Olson and the 49ers group, who their Discord's in the description. So if you're planning on racing this car, I highly recommend joining that group on Discord. It's not required or anything, but they share lots of setups and advice. And John Olson always posts their setups, and use that as a base. I have been exploring some of the changes though. Like with iRacing, of course, there's a lot of stuff to change. This car is, you know, relatively simplistic. I've been playing around with the drivetrain a bit just to kill some of that understeer. You also, it's one of the things that you one of the things that is tricky is, do I change the setup of a car to fit more my driving style, or do I adapt my driving style? Because I know there's guys that go quick. John Olson is very quick using that setup. And so if I'm not as quick, it's something about me. Probably. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit of a balance. Do I change the car? Do I change my driving style? So I've been trying to change my driving style a bit just to help suit the car a bit better, but I have explored the setup a bit. I've made it a bit more oversteery on throttle, which, cross my fingers, because I spun out last week in the carousel at Road America from oversteer. But you don't need to be smart to change car setups. It's just time consuming, and I think that's the biggest issue folks have with it. You got to change one setting and go out and drive 10-15 laps. Change one setting, you know, back, change the same setting back, go drive 10-15 laps and feel the difference. And there's of course more that can go into it, but it's a very time consuming process until you understand what all the settings do very well. And I think that's the biggest hurdle to get into setup making. Once you do learn it, though, it doesn't become quite as time consuming. Cars behave similarly once you learn the car itself, and especially a car like this where setup is important but not everything. Once you learn what the settings do, you can probably get pretty close just from, you know, working on the setup and then going out and driving. Yeah, there's a broadcast for this race as well. I have that in the description from GRSC. Used to do stuff with them as well. They're a great group. So you can watch a broadcast. I don't think I'll feature very much, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we're loading into the race session now. We have about a minute practice and then jump straight into qualifying. See if I get top split. Hope I do. I think I should be able to. And I didn't see how many were registered. I'm expecting a smaller field, thankfully, than Road America. 40 cars, although it's exciting. That's quite a lot. Yeah, and Chris, in the setups in iRacing, at least, they do explain to you what the setting does. All right, so I am in the top split. 25 cars today. I'm number 18, so pretty far down the order. But we'll see how it goes. I'll go out and do a quick lap of practice, make sure everything still feels good and looks good. Should see a lot of the same drivers as last week. I see Loust there, who I was chasing right at the end at Road America. It was fun. I did go back and watch the actual broadcast of the race too, which is good. They caught my my big faux pas in the carousel. But yeah, this is a really quick little, not even a practice, little warm up just to make sure everybody can join the session, and then we'll jump right into qualifying. It's car steps out a little bit. It's 2 timed laps around the track. 1 out lap and then 2 timed laps, and better of the 2 laps is what gets taken into consideration for your grid spot. So you can see in the practice we just did, I did a 139.1, and I'd be over the moon if that's what I can do here in this session. You never know. It says my optimal lap is a 138.6. I've never done a 138. And then I expect the pole time to be in the 137, so you can see the spread. Wish I was quicker, but it's all part of the learning, I guess. It's only really my 3rd week recently racing this car, so I guess still working on it a bit. But I am number 18 based on my iRating too, so it's a lot of highly rated drivers in this series. So definitely quick. It's split. This is the top split, it looks like. All right, there we go. So we'll jump into the qualifying now. It's 8 minutes to do 2 laps, which should be plenty of time. It's really 3 laps. But hopefully do a good quali lap here. All right, we'll jump in. Hoping if I can get in the 139s at least, that'll be good. I should be able to do that. But the lower in the 139s, the better, and we'll just try to do so. First lap, I'll try to just get a nice one in the books. Of course, any off-track incident or anything like that invalidates your lap in iRacing, so you have to drive very precisely. You can't dip off into the dirt or anything. Track feels very gripped up. Maybe a high grip surface today. The track does change session to session in iRacing, so you're never going to get the same track condition, temperatures, and all of that. I'm out though. Out lap right now. Theoretically, the second lap will be the better one anyway for the tires. They do take a couple laps to come up to temperature. Give optimal grip. rounds. Start the lap. All right, so we'll start the first of the 2 quali laps. Really just want a clean lap on this first one. Make sure I don't dip a wheel off so I don't start at the very back if the worst happens. Right at about the 150 markers, break down to second gear. A little bit hot coming into T1, very hot actually. Ran very wide there. Pick up the throttle though. Down to second gear. Try to keep this one tidy for the rest of it. Just balance the throttle there. The car really wants to break loose over the bumps. Out of third gear, understeer so much. I didn't quite get the turn in right. Slide the car a little bit there to try to close the exit. Down to second gear, so easy to run deep into this corner. Sliding quite a lot, losing a bit of time because of that. I'm a second off my best lap, or optimal lap. Down to second gear into the final chicane hairpin situation here. All right, so this is not a great lap, but it's at least gonna give me a time. All right, so we'll get a time at least, but it's gonna be a pretty slow one. 140.1. It's a second slower than the time I did in practice earlier. We'll try to crank it up a little bit for this one. Finally make the first corner, but I hit the inside curb slightly. Try to pick up the throttle as early as possible there, get the car to rotate, but then accelerate out onto this tricky section. Ooh, on the curbs quite a lot there. Yeah, just slowly losing time every corner. Grab an apex. Just because the first half of the lap wasn't great doesn't mean the second half can't be. Picked up the throttle all right there. I got through that section okay. Hard on the brakes then over the crest. Second gear. Still lost like a tenth through there. Just try to pick up the throttle on the exit, the final corner, and then have to wait for the car to rotate enough. Feed the throttle in. All right, come to the line. I think I'll be in the 39s, but man, not such great times. 39.4, okay. Not the worst, but not great either. Some pretty difficult laps. We'll see where that puts me. You can see I'm 14th right now. So I'm 14th. Right now overall. Everybody's turned to time, which is cool to see. We'll watch. There's still 2 minutes left till the session ends. It's gonna be mid to back of the pack, this one. '16th, falling back a bit. Man, we're gonna be right towards the back today, so it'll be a tricky run. Hopefully have a battle at least. It would be disappointing if it ends up like the IndyCar race I did yesterday, where it's just nobody to race. We'll good to know I would have got pole in the lower split. Yeah, but that's what the split system's all about, and I think one of the best, you know, the whole online element of iRacing is probably the best part about it, right? And having splits that pair you with drivers that should be similar pace to you so that you have a challenging, exciting race. You know, of course I'd love to win a race, but if I was just running away with the win, that's not that much fun either, so. But yeah, 39.4. I can't believe Togo is a 37.8. Absolutely unreal. All right, gotta make sure I put the fuel in it, but that's gonna be that for the pre-race. So we'll go with 8 gallons. Should be enough. So I'll be starting 16th here. It's 21 laps around Zandvoort, and goals for the race. I want to run a clean race today, and so hopefully I can do that and see what happens. It's a tight track. It's a technical track. I'm certain there'll be something dramatic happening. Hopefully not around me, but I am right in the heart of the pack. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, here we go for Zandvoort in iRacing Lotus 49. We're on session optimal lap for this. We get a better start this week too, although there were some, I saw on the broadcast, some pretty crazy things happening on the start, so cross your fingers. I would hate for this to end in turn 1, especially on my own doing. Should be good. I appreciate everybody joining as well. It's kind of just a fun thing to do. I've been having fun with this, so it's nothing new. I don't know if I'll keep doing it or not, but it's been a long time since I did iRacing semi-seriously, so it's fun to get back into. But there's the lights. Wait for them to go red and then go out. Oh, I really botched that again, man. All right, on the inside, I lost the position. I maybe have to do first gear. I thought second gear is really the right way to do it. I'm braking with the wrong foot. Just instinctively, I go with the right foot braking. All right, we'll come out of the first corner. I got a car to my left, I think. It's really close on me there. The taxi cab. Oh, might be a spin on the inside. I almost got run into. All right, I think I got away with it. No contact per iRacing. That was very close. I'll have to watch that in replay after the race. All right, focus forward though. Got out of the most dangerous part of the lap. Cut nicely there. You can actually cut quite deep on the curbs without getting a slowdown penalty, which is interesting. Got Robert Plumley right behind me, who I've definitely heard that name before. I think they're fairly quick. Oh, almost a spin on lap 1 again. That would be terrible. Right down to second gear. Robert sneaks in right behind me. Hopefully doesn't try to pull any crazy maneuvers. Come to the final corner. Some pretty crazy first few corners. I guess I could have expected that. Everybody funneling in. I don't think that's the last spinner, we'll see. But come across the line, complete lap number 1. Break a bit early on lap 2 here, still have a lot of cars in front. It's a tough track to pass around. There's not a lot of great passing opportunities, and because that front stretch is shorter than it used to be, the run down into Tarzan isn't quite as good a passing opportunity as it was, say, on the 60s version. We're gonna run a bit wide there. Got a lot of cars in front. I think there's one up there that's holding up this whole chain. See what happens. in third gear. I gotta make sure I don't go into first gear. That would be not good. But yeah, terrible start. I gotta work on the starts. Might be my project over the next week. Robert's taking a peek up the inside. Shouldn't give him the space, but I do. Don't want to make contact or anything. He's there on my left. Right down to second gear. Come into the chicane. Oh, he's gonna stick it in there. All right, Robert. Getting past. Not headed in the right direction. Got Will Lamb behind me now. Trying to slide into Robert, behind Robert at least. I think he's fairly quick, so hopefully I can hold off Will here and then follow Robert through the train in front. It was a good pass by him though. All right, up to fifth gear there, just for a second. It's the only place on the track you hit fifth gear. It's 141.6. Robert kicks up some dust in front. Yeah, these guys are quick this week. It's definitely not a scenario where I'm just going to pass a bunch of cars. Just try to stay nice and smooth and cool. Got some smoke in front. I almost caused some myself. Watch for Will behind me, making a lunge. He goes quite wide into the first corner there. It's these S's here that are so slow. Will's just 3/10 off me though behind. All right, gotta calm down a little bit, just get nice and smooth. This car doesn't really reward you for driving it harder. Ooh, we got a slow car going to the pits. All right, so Matthew in the pits, that'll be a free spot. I'm sitting in 18th right now, which I guess is exactly my number. Finished, I think, 17th last week, so hoping to improve a little bit here. Get down to second there like I was supposed to. Slide the car into that left-hander there. It gets very loose over the bump. I think I'm diving in a little too soon on that corner. It's easy to cut it too shallow. Very vague how the track goes here and where the racing line is. Feel the tires have heated up a bit though, so slide the car there. Lost 3/4 of a second through that slide. At this pace, hopefully won't go a lap down today, but it might happen even without a spin. But I'm losing the grip in front ever so slightly, which is not encouraging. I'm pulling away from Will a little bit, a couple tenths. If I can keep that up, I'll be free of him. This race will go by so fast, though. These races aren't very long. Ran a bit wider there, but that was honestly felt a bit better. Missed the apex, just a little bit on the inside. It's very dark now. When the sun dips behind the clouds, it gets so dark. Maybe a little, unrealistically dark. Hopefully you can all still see. YouTube isn't chomping my bitrate down. Fortunately, it's not possible to stream with the same clarity that a video would give you. And as you probably figured out, I can't read the chat during the race, unfortunately. But hope it's enjoyable so far. I'm struggling here. Gonna try to just smooth out a little bit. I haven't lost the group in front, but they're about the same speed as I am, maybe slightly more consistent. It was a 1:39.5, so it's not a bad lap compared to my practice times. I think for some reason I'm just a little off the pace this week. Stick with it though. Dance it over the dunes. It's a thrill going through that section, and then you come up here and it kind of ruins it. I'm not sure this section of the course is good in any car either. Even like a modern downforce car, it's frustrating for any car to drive through here. Seems like Robert might be setting up a pass. I have a pretty bad middle sector. A little loose there, I missed the turn in a bit. Just little errors here and there that are all adding up over the lap. One thing definitely racing online, whether it's iRacing or a league and any sim, teaches you how to be ultra consistent, because you'll see the very quick cars or very quick drivers are just very, very consistent lap after lap. There's tiny mistakes. It's not about just keeping it on the track anymore. It's about running like very, very solid laps, lap after lap. Something that racing offline doesn't necessarily teach you. Jump over a curb there. So we're 7 laps in already. Sun's back out. Got a couple too wide in front. Could help me close in a little bit. I'm about 3 seconds off of them though. Opened up about 1.5 seconds on Will behind me, so unless I make an error, I don't really have to worry about watching behind me anymore. Robert's going for the move up the inside in front. Careful not to miss that braking. Right around Matt there. See how quick Matt is now that he's not trying to keep off Robert. It seemed like the first couple laps there was somebody up there that was a little bit slow, but they've evened out definitely. I keep not shifting down to second there, which is killing me. Ooh, we got some skid marks going out wide. Car sliding through the gravel. That looks like it was Matt actually, so I got a freebie there. We'll take that. I think at this point I might have to hope the balancing act of just keeping the car steady through this complex course gets the best of a few. Slightly late on the brakes there. Slide it in. Got wheels closed up a little bit behind me. I think I hesitated. Well, I had a couple bad corners, but I also hesitated when I saw Matt off the track. All right, up to fifth gear. At this stage, I don't have anybody I'm directly following. Just need to try to put good laps together. It's my best hope. Tricky at this point to catch that group in front just on pace, but if you put your solid laps together, you'll be in the best position if somebody makes a mistake to capitalize on it. Got another car maybe spinning off. No, right against the inside. Man, that's a bad rejoin. Backing up onto the circuit on the apex is not a good idea. So I got another position there, but that one's pretty ugly. I don't know how you end up there. Must maybe over-rotate. Wheels closed up on me again. Couple passing up front there. You can see just the 3 in front of me. I'm up to 16th now, but it's no actual passes. It's all just been getting passed on luck, which still counts, but I was hopeful I might get in a battle here today. It doesn't look to be the case, though. Got another slow car here. Just watch. There he is. Oh, it's Robert. Something happened up there with that pass he was going for. He actually had made good progress, but get Robert then, so up to 15th. We'll see if this keeps happening. I think I'm just faster than Will, but he catches up quite a bit whenever there's something exciting in front of me. Hear the tear off. To third there a bit sooner. All right, we'll come to the line, so about halfway through the race. Not been a great one so far. I haven't really made any major mistakes, knock on wood, but just not quite quick today. So we're just going for a ride to the dulcet tones of the DFV Cosworth. Dance the car there. Be interesting to see the final results too, and where my fastest lap compares, because it might just be a consistency thing, although it feels like a huge speed difference as I miss an apex there. It's stuff like that which is ultimately losing me a lot of time. Will is still right there behind me, keeping me honest. Curb there. You can really clobber the curbs. The curbs here are very flat, at least on this version. A couple too wide in front again. All right, 10 laps to go. At least if it's a painful race, it's not so long. I feel like a longer race would actually suit me better. I used to do a lot of long races. With a race, 21 laps, every lap's got to be a qualifying lap, which is very challenging. Big respect to the guys that can do extremely precise laps for 21 laps in a row. Got another yellow flag. Get excited. There's some smoke here. Could have been somebody spun out. Oh, I got a car closer to me now. Wasn't quite close enough to get the position on the mistake, but it looks like Benjamin in front spun from 11th. Man. We got Miro coming back too. That was that car stopped on the apex, so might actually have some challenge from behind here in a few laps. See how quickly they can get around Matt or Will. Yeah, I see some chat, I can't really read it, but some chat about different sims, and this is definitely the most predictable place to find a classic formula race. There are some good leagues out there that do classic cars, but as far as just kind of pick up, if you're around, it's one of the reasons I'm here. It is a lot of fun as well, but it's just very easy to get involved in doing this race. All you need is iRacing and the right license level, which I think is a B class. Nice and smooth through there. I got 2.4 seconds on Miro now, so Miro got around Will. Expecting to have some full mirrors here in a lap or two. Not sure why I'm so far off the pace. I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay, but a lot of little mistakes is probably the biggest thing. Got a slow car ahead. Oh, spun car off the track. That's another free spot. That was 13th, Richard. So the results of this one may end up looking like I was a little bit more competitive than I really was. Because I don't do the same thing myself. It's so easy to do here. Could happen to really anybody. Just drop a wheel or hit a curb the wrong way. I think I'm in 14th now. Definitely in also ran territory. It'd be fun if you had to use heel and toe, so I feel like that could give me a little bit of an edge. I do that most of the time when I'm racing, but I'm sure the quick guys would be able to do it super well anyway. So Miro's just 1.6 seconds off. I think they're closing maybe a half second a lap, which is a lot. Lock the wheels up coming into the first turn a little bit. That curve on the inside, it just shoots you a little bit wide. A lot of wheel angle. Found you can actually at a slow speed put quite a bit of lock into the wheel to get the car to turn more. Down to second there a bit early. It's all right. Didn't really lose much time. This is a fairly decent lap so far. Benjamin in front. Keep an eye on the gap. I feel like I'm a little closer than I was. Understeer so much there. All right. Across the line, I think just about 5 laps left. 6 laps. It's very light over the top of the hill. The force feedback sensation's really cool. Makes you feel like you're kind of on ice for a second there as the suspension unloads. It's what makes a track like this so much fun. Closing in, but he's not so much quicker than me, so I'm hoping I can just stay in front of him here. Don't want to give him that opportunity at all. Force him to push, and looks like Will or Matt is right with him. If I get passed by one of them, it's likely I'll get passed by both. All right. All right, 5 to go now. Right on that inside curve, but not hitting it. It's kind of the perfect line. Slide a bit wide there. Pick up the throttle to help the car turn. Punch the throttle a bit just to get the car to kick itself out a bit. You can rotate it so much using the throttle. Right, Miro is right on me. Unfortunately. Not give up. Slide the car there a bit. Try to apex very late. Miro's really going to make these last 4 laps interesting. Just watch for that dive bomb or something. Still don't, that corner to me, I don't feel like I get correct ever. In this one, I'm gonna run a little bit wide. Come on, pick up the throttle. Block the inside a bit. He's gonna have a run on me coming out of here, but it's not such a long straightaway. Oh, car wags a bit. Kind of blocked him a bit there. Just hanging on to it, but I gotta do this 3 more laps. He's gonna have a run on me. I'm gonna block the inside. I'm taking the inside. It's close enough to the end of the race. You know, if this was the 3rd lap, it's not really worth blocking, to be honest, at least in how I race, but 3 laps to go. I'm gonna try everything I can to stay in front. It's not really blocking if you move first, so I'm just choosing that inside line. Let's hope Matt gets involved behind him and keeps Miro busy behind me. He's definitely right there. It'd be tough for Miro right now, being kind of man in the middle. So dark again. Let's see if there's a setting for that. Maybe I've got some weird setting on that makes it darker under clouds. Robert's pulled back up on us too, so I'm the one holding everybody up a little bit, but it's a few laps to go. Just want to stay up in front. Wow, you really took the inside line there. Alright, it's not quite close enough this time, so I don't need to block. Just need good corners here. Or run a bit deep, actually. Oh, that's bad. Come on. Pick up the throttle. I just got away with that, man. Really bad first corner, though. There's been a couple times that I've run wide there in various simulators over the years. Getting like foggy now and everything. It's so dark. I hope you can see well that I can. I can definitely see all right, but the track itself, I have a feeling it's going to get all muddy in the stream. Not to run deep here. Keep it nice and tidy. That was actually pretty good that time. Wheel spin there. Leaders just got the last lap, so shouldn't go a lap down, which is good. Bit hard on the brakes coming in here. Probably driving into every corner a bit too deep, but it's where I found myself in this one. Just barely holding on here to this position. 14th out of the final corner. Miro's pretty far back there. I got a pretty terrible last corner, but I don't think he's gonna have a run at me. So as long as I don't botch turn one here, he would have a tough time getting past. Brake slightly earlier maybe. Let's lock up the tires again. Come on. Oh my gosh, barely made that one. So the last lap, slide out right to the edge of the track. Seems like there might have been an incident behind me because that pack's broken up a bit. So Miro is free, but he's fallen back a little bit. So just need a solid second half of the lap here. Close things out. It's so dark. It's almost nighttime without lights. This is terrible, honestly. It would never get the clouds. If there's spotty clouds, like it's a sunny day with some clouds, it would never get this dark behind a cloud. So I wonder if I have a weird setting somewhere. All right, coming to the final chicane. Assuming I don't loop the car here, should be good. Gear, just bounce it through the final corner. Man, I'm out. 14th position. Not what I wanted today. Happy I held on to that. I hope you put the lights on. I hope it wasn't terrible to watch. It ended up being, you know, sometimes you focus forward in a race and other times you spend the race in the mirrors, and that was definitely a mirror race. So man, difficult one though. That one definitely worked up a bit of a sweat there. It got very dark. It's very strange, but maybe a storm is coming or something. What a race though. We'll park it here. We'll take a look like we did last week. Look at some of the results there and see what happened throughout the race. Interested what happened to that group behind me at some place. Yeah, that was definitely a defense race. Take the keyboard over here. Whoa. Just quickly save the replay in case we get booted out. All right. So we'll take a look at the results. Let me get some music going. Oh, what a race. What a race. I appreciate y'all being here. A little bit, I think I'm happier this week with the race, just my driving itself, than last week. Yeah, I'm lucky the guy behind didn't get DRS. Ooh. All right, so Jim Shedlick gets the win. Gets the win with a bunch of a gap, just about a second over Togo. So good race up front, looks like. Sebastian TCA, is that how you say that? Thank you, Yozo Tape. Sebastian TCA finishes in third. Raphael back in fourth position. Jordan Gronkowski, who also does streaming, actually. They've got a great setup too. They've got the real Lotus wheel and everything. Go check out. I think it's just his name on YouTube. But Jordan came in fifth. He's very quick. Definitely watch some of his streams so I can learn from them. Xavier Sanchez finishes in 6th. John Olsen in 7th. Jorge Neva in 8th. Laust Olsen in 9th. And then Matthias Vidal finishing in 10th. Yeah, that was a pretty busy race. So I finished back in 14th ahead of Miro, Will Lamb, Yuri. Doesn't look like we had many retirees either. Or any, really. 26 finisher or 25 finishers, just 4 of them a lap down or more. So not too bad. So we'll go watch, let's watch some of the laps. Spend a few minutes here watching maybe the start of the race and seeing what happened. Yeah, I don't know why SF it got so dark. I mean, you can see now it's very sunny. Something happened with the clouds or something. I'll figure that out. Hopefully that's not just iRacing. We'll watch the start though, at least. I got such a bad start. I really need to, I'm gonna work on that this week, I promise. Second gear was not the way to go. Pixie A, okay, thank you. Got through the first corner. There ended up being some sort of incident here in the in this left-hander. Yeah, a couple below me. So we'll watch what happened there. Definitely a big issue. So this is Marco. Yeah, you can put skins. It looks like they just got run over, which is unfortunate. I mean, he definitely would have broke early just because I was next to him. But he just got run over. He broke probably quite a bit earlier than the group behind him was expecting. And that's just a racing incident, but definitely the group behind us was very aggressive. I mean, I guess that's how you have to be. We saw how strung out it got, but yeah, that's really not his fault at all and really messed up his car. You can see, broke the suspension at the rear. All right, there was one thing I wanted to see of myself too. Hope GSRC is saying nice things. I had a moment or something I wanted to watch. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, the look of iRacing definitely has not evolved super well. It was a really good looking sim, you know, for a time. I want to say around, 2010, 2011, it was definitely the best looking one out there, but it's unfortunately just kind of stayed. Now, I used to care a lot more about how sims looked. I don't care as much anymore, for whatever reason that is. I'm not sure it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I think it looks fine. I have, it's good enough, but it's not, it has nothing to give like AMS2, which I think is kind of top of the heap at the moment. I know ACC is talked about a lot as being a really good looking sim, and it is, but it has, unless you have really good hardware, the aliasing issues it has makes it look really crummy. But it does have good lighting effects and stuff, so it is a good looking sim. Watch the first couple hours because I feel like there was something pretty early in the race that I said, oh, I want to check that out after the race. I can't quite remember what it was though. Yeah, I mean, you're also take for granted or take for stock, I guess, who I am. I did a stream yesterday racing a game from 1995, and I'm perfectly happy with that too. So I'm maybe not the forefront persona for getting better graphics. Graphics are important because they do make things look good. I really enjoy, though, just like a consistent looking game, and iRacing definitely gives you that. Everything's the same quality pretty much. They had a problem for a while where some tracks looked better. Here comes who is this up the inside? Good little battle here. This was Robert when Robert was getting around me. So I do want to check out what I did in this section. Just to round up the thought too, I think consistency, for a while iRacing had some tracks that looked amazing and then other tracks that were clearly the older ones. It's still like that a bit, but I think it's a little bit better now. Every track's a little more consistent. Turn 1 near the end. Yeah, Jez, I can check that out too. I'm just not sure what... I feel like that wasn't it. So I was pretty far to the inside here, and I just botched the apex. So Robert just kept his speed up. Was able to get around the outside, and then I let him in. I mean, I could have shut the door there maybe, but we would risk hitting each other, and we were 2 laps into the race, so... I think I might have run this one without any incident points. Yeah, I had the inside here. And gave that up, and then chopped Will off behind me and kept him behind, thankfully. Watch one more lap. I feel like it was pretty early in the race that it did something. iRacing did have this little sunlight effect. You can see it on the suspension in the front. It's cool, but it flickers a lot. Just kind of odd. Over the top of the hill there. All right, I did want to see what happened to yeah, I'm pretty happy with 0x at least. You know, if you're not going to win the race, at least don't crash or something. I want to see what happened to Miro here, so we'll fast forward a bit. Miro had a weird incident to end up on the inside. I have a feeling they just went a little too hot into the corner and then like spun kind of, but got it stopped in time before they hit the wall. I'm not sure. Interested to see. He definitely had some damage on the front of the car. Hold on, we'll do this. We'll find the lap that they've got some damage. There we go. It was on this lap, lap 9. Interested to see how you spin to the inside. Oh, they got to the outside. Okay. So we'll go back to TV1. So it comes over the top of the hill. I've done that so many times. You just get one tire on the rear. Nice drift. Got up in the sand, and then that worked them forward. And luckily, nobody was passing on the track when they slid through the surface. But yeah, that's a bad move. Especially because you can tell there's somebody coming up behind you via the relative. So pretty irresponsible to back up onto the racing line. But they got themselves straight and almost ended up getting around me. But luckily, I held them off towards the end. All right, we'll look at my... We'll look at a couple more things at least here. We'll look at myself. So I want to look at the end. What, like 2 laps before the end, I just missed turn 1. I mean, there's not going to be a lot to analyze here. I want to painted the line on it. Pretty good. What was this, lap 21, 19 maybe? Yeah, he was going wide. So this is my defense. So actually I wanted to bring this up too, because I see all the time just stuff about like blocking versus defending. As long as you move first, it's really your decision. So I was coming down the straightaway and I knew they were having a run. They didn't exactly move to the inside, so I go take the inside. We kind of followed each other. It was close to a block, but I still think that was fair. And luckily, I didn't run wide that time, and I think it's the next lap that I actually ran wide. Which I was lucky they were further back, because they would have absolutely taken the position. Yeah, just way too late on the brakes. Lock up the right front, slide a bit wide. We'll watch the end of the race from here. I'm interested to see what happened to the couple behind. Maybe watch from Miro's perspective to get the full view of it. Yeah, I mean, I think... and I keep preaching it, I guess, just off my own accord, but AMS2's in a really nice spot. Assetto Corsa, of course. ACC is a great sim. iRacing's solid. R Factor 2, although there's a lot of shakeups over there. I mean, it's in a pretty good spot as well, sim-wise. So I feel like we're pretty... It could always be more, but we're in a pretty decent spot with racing sims. You know, there's some holes though, and especially if you don't want to do iRacing on the oval side of things, there's really nothing else. doing it right now. So it'd be good to see what comes. But I feel like we're in a decent spot. We got a lot of choice right now in the sim world. We'll see here. Something definitely happened. Miro fell off pretty good. And I have a feeling there was a three-way incident. Almost going three wide there. We got Robert. And I think that's Matt in the middle. Matt in the middle. Who's gonna have a bit of a run. I wonder if it's coming down to T1 because they're all right there. We're coming to the white flag this time. I've pulled out a little bit. You can see the flag man just waving away. Here goes Matt, swerving all over the place. Gonna have a nice little run down to the inside. Miro blocks. That's more of a block. Oh, that's too bad. So what happened there? I mean, it's pretty obvious, but we'll watch from Matt's perspective. Miro blocked him. Matt's gonna come to the inside, and Miro blocks him there, so Matt gets hard on the brakes, and Robert just goes for a ride, which is too bad that happens. It's kind of irresponsible as well. Look at this from Robert's chase view. Yeah, Gary, iRacing does have some AICs there at the inside. I mean, it's not a terrible block, but it's what happened. And Robert maybe should have backed off a bit. I think he was thinking for some reason that Matt was going to stay to the inside, which I don't know if I would have trusted that. Last lap of the race, too, so you're going to have to go for it if you're going to do it. But Matt slams on the brakes there and then get back to the outside, and Robert doesn't react, really. I wouldn't really blame Robert in that. Yeah, it was a little bit of an IndyCar wreck. I mean, that's an open wheel racing wreck right there. Yeah, so iRacing does have AI, and I've had an idea for a video for a while to take a look at some of it. But it's not for every car and every track. It's a limited selection. Although the selection they've had is growing. I'm not sure if their intention is to add it for everything, but it seems like whenever something new comes out, it typically has it. And the stuff they do have is pretty good. I mean, if you like IndyCar racing, which I'm guessing if you watch this channel, you're at least somewhat interested in it, it probably is the best offline IndyCar sim right now, iRacing. So, still expensive. You still need a subscription and to buy the content and everything to actually do it offline still. But well, Gary, the good thing is if you don't, with iRacing itself, especially in the lower series or the bigger ones, this is a pretty niche series. So, I mean, we did get 2 splits today, which is pretty good. But most of the popular series have a lot of splits. So you're only going to be racing people that are similar speed to you. So you don't have to worry too much about pissing people off and things. Until you get to the higher levels and race some of the more niche cars like this one, you're going to be in the same race as everybody else, or different races from the really quick cars. All right, but that was fun. Not the race I was hoping for today, but at least it was clean. Coming away with, what was it, 14th place finish. And congrats to Jim Shedlick for the win there. Man, that's quite the win to come away with. I'll have to take a look at their fastest laps and everything. But thanks for watching. I might be back later today. I'm gonna go get food or something and see if I feel like doing the IndyCar stream. But if so, I'll see you then. And if not, I will hopefully see you all very soon. I hope you have a great weekend and holiday if you're celebrating that. And I'll see you all again next time. Thanks.